2 of the Senate states any student enrolled in Texas Tech University may address the Senate during open forum on any issue. If you wish to address the Senate, please rise for recognition at the chair at this time. Hearing none, we'll move out of open forum and we will move into executive reports. Our graduate vice president could not be here today, so please welcome our external vice president, Kendall Tully.
Hi everybody, I hope that you all had a really great break. I just wanted to talk about a couple of things today. So first of all, we have Take a Kid to the Game, which is upcoming on January 27th. That game is going to be at 2 o'clock, but the volunteering opportunity will start at 11:30. I have made a sign-up genius, and so you can use that QR code. Your options are to pass out shirts and lunch to the kids, or you can actually stay with them throughout the whole game. So lots of opportunity there to get involved. And then also throughout the semester, a couple of the other things that we're working on is Safe Night Out is continuing with RISE. And then also Days of Service, we're looking at doing this again, kind of as a replacement for Tech to Town, because they're going to move Tech to Town to the fall. So if you're interested in helping with that, we would love the help. But yeah, those are some exciting things that we have upcoming, but I hope that everybody has a great semester.
Thank you, Kendall. Next, please welcome Student Body President Joe Rivero and Cabinet Member Addie Sparks.
I'll keep this brief, but thank y'all for being here tonight, and I hope y'all had a good first day of classes. But some of the things that we're working on, I know that y'all have probably remembered our fall break initiative. We're still having those conversations, still having the conversations with the faculty senate, staff senate, and higher administration. It's been a little bit tricky, but we're looking to really keep pushing for that and keep that going. And then another thing that we're working on is mobile IDs. We're hoping to get that going, and hopefully we have that done by the end of the term and implemented in the fall. But those are just a few of the things that we're still working on, and I'll give the rest of my time to Cap Member Addie Sparks.
Hello, y'all. My name is Addison Sparks, Addie. I am the Attorney General of the Student Government Association. Y'all probably received my email, I think about a week ago. We are working on a constitutional convention, and basically what that is it's going to be a time where we can come together and we can think of ways to update and change and kind of just make better our student government constitution. It is a little outdated in certain aspects. I think the last time it was fully actually updated was like 2014. There's been updates, they just haven't been added to the Constitution, so that's another thing that we're hoping to do. The Constitutional Convention will happen a week from today at this time, 6 o'clock, in the Red Raider Lounge, which is in the sub. There will be little snacks, so that's another reason to come. And then you also get an outreach point. Like I said, it's just a time to come and share ideas about how to improve / update the Constitution. On the book so far of things that we're wanting to change is changing all pronouns to the candidate, just to kind of make it a little bit more inclusive. This actually was taken to the student body to vote on a year or two ago, and it did not pass the 66% majority, so we're really hoping to be able to pass that this year. Another thing is that we are wanting to update the language used to describe our first year programs. Right now it's Freshman Council and Freshman Leadership Association, and we're wanting to change it to our First Year Leadership Association and our First Year Council. So we're wanting to get that wordage also changed. A couple of things to take note too, if you're looking over the Constitution, there have been things that haven't been updated. For example, we have already passed the spot for a university studies student in the Student Senate. We've passed that there's going to be more spots allotted to at-large already, and then we have also passed that graduate students can fulfill their specific college as well. They don't just have to go graduate. So keep that in mind when you're looking over the Constitution, that those things have already been passed, and we're just wanting to put that in the Constitution as well. Another thing that we're going to look at is the creation of a Student Government Association bylaws. We actually don't have any. So we're wanting to get that as well. It's basically going to be kind of like a standard operating procedure of the Student Senate. It's going to include your role as a senator, and then also like the parliamentarian, the historian, everybody. It's going to have the exact standard operating procedure. So we're also going to look over a rough draft of that so that way we can also get that. Another thing to keep in mind is that for something to pass into the Constitution, it actually has to be voted on by y'all. A senator has to propose a piece of legislation kind of implementing it, has to be passed by the student senate, and then it goes to the student body kind of elections in the coming months where it's going to be voted on by the student body, and it has to pass in 66% majority. So that's something we're hoping to get done. Please come on next Thursday, share your ideas. We are so excited to get this ball rolling, so yeah.
Thank you, Addie. And Joel will go over his new cabinet of appointments at this time.
Yes. Right over there. Sorry, y'all, I forgot to name the cabinet appointments that I made. As y'all know, Rebecca graduated and Kieran graduated, so that left 2 open vacancies in our cabinet. So the people that I'm appointing are going to be, as y'all know, Ellery introduced herself. She's stepping in for Rebecca as the Director of Digital Media and Communications. So Ellery Lyles is stepping in for that after, obviously, the consent of the Senate. And for Kieran, the Director of Governmental Relations, Eli Heath will be taking his spot. He worked under him as his intern, and he knows the position very well, so we think he's capable of taking over that. But thank you.
Thank you, Joel. We will now move back to hear remarks from our special guest. I am excited to introduce our special guest today at our Senate meeting. Steely Smith is a current student regent, and she is a graduate student at Texas Tech pursuing a master's degree in agribusiness from the Department of Agricultural and Applied Economics in the Davis College. She earned a bachelor's degree in agricultural communications from Davis College in 2021 and received a master's degree in media and mass communications in 2022. She currently serves as the coordinator for TTU Government and Public Service internship program, where she oversees networking and business development with the U.S. Capitol and Texas Capitol offices and organizes and manages student interns who represent TTU in Washington, D.C. and in Austin. So everyone help me in welcoming Steely.
Thank you, everybody. Again, my name is Steely Smith Freeman, and I'm a fellow student just like you guys. The mic's Can y'all hear me now? Great. So thank y'all for having me here today. I look forward to just kind of visiting with you guys for a minute. So before I start, though, I would like to ask, how many of y'all don't know the role of the board or the student regent? Okay, that's impressive. Oh, did you? Okay, I saw a hand over here. This is a legit, honest question. You are not going to get in trouble. Okay, so maybe a couple hands. The reason I ask is just ever since being in this role, I've realized that not a lot of students kind of understand what the board does or the student regent role does. So, simplified, fast version is the board oversees the Texas Tech system, which is comprised of Texas Tech University, Angelo State University, Midwestern State University, the Health Sciences Center, and the Health Sciences Center in El Paso. So they're the governing board appointed by the governor, and there's 9 members plus the student regent. So the difference between the formal regents and the student regent is the student regent actually doesn't have a vote at meetings, but the student regent is still a part of all discussions, basically just to make sure that the interests of the students are taken into account in all of their meetings. So it's a really interesting role. If any of y'all are interested in learning about it further or more specifics of my duties, I'd be happy to talk to y'all after. One thing, though, that I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is our upcoming joint session. So it's going to either be at the end of March or beginning of April, but it's an exciting opportunity for you guys to get to work with the SGAs at other Texas Tech University system schools. So it's a way to come together and to basically create and pass bills that are going to affect students in the system as a whole. I think it'll be a great opportunity, especially this year. We're kind of changing things up a little bit that I'm really excited about. So I've noticed in the past that sometimes there's a little confusion when it comes to joint session. So this year, during our joint session, we're actually going to create bylaws for our joint session, just like each individual SGA does. We're going to come together, work on creating something like that, and then we're going to also come together as students and do a values-based initiative. So I don't know, do any of y'all's departments share their values-based initiatives? I know agricultural communications in my undergrad did. Does SGA have their own? Okay, so y'all, shame on y'all. Y'all should know the SGA ones. So a lot of departments will have their own values-based initiative. I know the Texas Tech system has their 5 values as a whole, and a lot of schools will have their own values. I thought it'd be really beneficial for students to come together, go through that process, and create values that y'all think are important to your higher education. Now, this isn't to take away from any of the department values or any of the school values, but I just thought it'd be really interesting to come together, students create those values, and then share those and kind of compare those to the values that are already set forth. So that's also something exciting that we're going to do. I will say that the way we're setting it up is if you are interested in maybe writing or drafting a bill, or you have certain ideas that you think would be beneficial to the students as a system as a whole, talk to Joel. We are going to be having sign-up sheets because we're trying to get as many students as possible to attend the joint session. I think that's been a problem in the past, is it kind of conflicts with schedules. So we've actually moved it from being in the middle of the week to a Saturday. Hopefully that'll help with attendance. And then we're providing food and events like that. So it should be a good time. We're going to draft 3 bills as a total. So all schools will have an opportunity to present different ideas for bills, and then we'll come together and create those. Are there any questions kind of about joint session as a whole? I know I had a lot of questions at the beginning. I never did a joint session when I was an undergrad, and it is very complex. That's why we're trying to create bylaws to better outline how it works, and especially what happens with the bills afterwards. Yes?
Will it be held here in Lubbock?
Great question. I did not say that. Yes, so it will be in Lubbock. Typically the joint session is wherever the student regent attends school. So y'all are lucky this year. It gets to be here in Lubbock. The location is still to be determined. It's either going to be in the board office or at the hall in the sub. So we're still pinpointing that exact location, but yes, it will for sure be here in Lubbock. Great question. Okay, well, my last little tidbit is, oh, yes.
Can you tell us what the Texas Tech values are currently?
Okay, so
the complete, well, the ones that you were speaking about, like the 5 values.
oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot here. Okay. Honestly, I think I know Angelo State's probably better than the systems. Can I look them up and I'll tell you them exactly? Because there's a lot of values. So a lot of departments have their own similar values. Like for instance, like in organizations will have their own values-based initiatives. So we actually have a position, there's a gentleman that works for this system, and that is his sole job, is he goes and he does all of these value-based initiative cultures. And so he is going to attend the joint session with us, and he's gonna walk us through that process. Let me see. If I have service. Okay. 1 team, kind-hearted. Oh wait, just kidding. This is the Health Sciences Center. But here's an example, for instance. So the Health Sciences Center is 1 team, kind-hearted, integrity, visionary, and beyond surface. It looks like the system administration, their 5 core values are people first, integrity, community, respect, and exemplary service. So I'll use that as an example to kind of compare the two. So obviously they're very different. I don't think one of those was really the same. So it really is tailored to the organization that's doing them. The reason that I thought it would be beneficial to do this values-based initiative culture among the students is after each board meeting, I try to have a meal with all of the SGA presidents from all of our five component universities. And one thing I noticed, especially after the first time sitting down with them, I noticed there's a lot of the same issues. So, and I realized that even though it's important, I think, to respect the differences that each of our universities bring to the table, I'm hoping that by doing this, we can also show that we are all students and that it's not necessarily a competitive thing within the schools, but it's important to just use each other's resources as well. So that was kind of why I wanted to do that at this joint session.
I'm so sorry, I'm just a little confused. Is it like a purpose statement? Like, we believe in like these values, or are they like initiatives? And if they are initiatives, like, can you like give an example? It's a little murky.
So neither. It's really, I mean, I guess there are initiatives kind of with each one, but it's really to identify the 5 core values that the people within that entity share, and to be able to focus and exemplify those values whenever they go out in the world. Mr. Gunn might have a better description.
Yeah, not a better description, but we do some core values for our division, and you'll see a big poster of my office, not hanging yet, because it'll be hanging in the main office there. But our values are, as a division for student affairs, is respect, integrity, responsibility, dedication, and cultivating community. And underneath those are different bullet points with how we define that, and most of them revolve around student engagement. But if you want to see our, because we probably need to do one as an organization as well for student government, so we can look at building those from that as well.
It's basically like the 5 core values that they want their organization to live and serve by. Any other questions? Yes?
What are some accomplishments that have come out of the joint session?
So that is also a great question. I honestly, from the past, I couldn't exactly tell you. That is why I think and I've been focusing on making some changes this year for the joint session, is because I think that the joint session has a really cool and important purpose. I just don't know if that purpose has been necessarily filled out in the past, just because of the uncertainty and the chaoticness that joint session has been. That's why we're trying to do bylaws for joint session and create different standards. That way it'll make it easier to follow and hopefully allow joint session to fulfill the purpose that I think it was created for, which is to, one, I think one of the big things is just to unify all of the students as a system. Unifying the systems is something that Chancellor Mitchell, I think, has really been focusing on. And like I said, that's not to take away from the uniqueness of each of the universities, because they all definitely have their own unique characteristics that I think are very valuable and important. But to show that we can all come together and use each other as resources. And so I think that's one benefit of joint session, and that's why joint session bills are going to be more tailored to the students of the system as a whole. So whenever you're brainstorming ideas for bills, which hopefully you are starting to, try to think outside of Texas Tech. Think outside of Lubbock, and think of things that will be beneficial to just students of the system as a whole, if that makes sense. Does that kind of answer your question? So I'm hoping by enacting these bylaws, and my plan too, to fulfill the bylaws that we create at this joint session, is I'm going to present them to the board at the meeting following. So if that's something that y'all would like to show up at or give even a testimonial for, I'd be more than happy to have y'all join me, and we can share maybe what worked, what didn't, but basically to share with the board, you know what, this is what our awesome SGAs and our student leaders are doing, this is what they're passionate about. So that's kind of how I plan this year, at least, to fulfill the purpose of joint session, or what I feel like the purpose of joint session is. Sorry, I can ramble. But if there's no other questions, I will just leave y'all with continue to be bold and just be great student leaders and representatives of the campus. I think y'all do a great job, and Joel is speaking so highly of you guys. So I hope to work with y'all in the future and at joint session. And please, if any of y'all want to be a part of the bill writing process for joint session or just have any ideas, let Joel or I know. So I'll stick around after if any of y'all just want to chat or visit. I love getting to know fellow students. So thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Steely. Next on the agenda is judicial reports. However, there are no judicial reports at this time, so we will move into remarks from the President of the Senate. So this is just reiterating what Addie had already told you about the constitutional cleanup and convention. So like she mentioned, this is an outreach opportunity, so definitely encourage you all to come to that. If you're passionate about SGA, or maybe you have seen things in the past semester of your term that you want to have changed, that's really your chance to keep to make your voice known. So definitely recommend everyone to come to that. If you would like to help out in any capacity with that, please let us know. Yeah, welcome back. Really excited to see all your faces again. I hope you had a much needed break. I'm excited for the semester to come, and I'm really excited to see all of your ideas and goals come to fruition. Just a reminder about your membership requirements. This is in your past Senator Toolbox, a lot of emails that I've sent you, but in your Senate handbook as well, but just wanted to remind you here and now so you can begin working on these things. Remember, you do have to author 2 pieces of action legislation, author a congratulatory piece, attend 2 outreach events, and complete 3 service hours as well. Have a meeting with me to talk about your progress and your goals for the rest of the year. So just remember to do that. As a reminder, committee meetings will start back up next week on our off Senate week. So there is no committee reports today, but that's because we haven't had committee meetings over the break. And then just to kind of answer a question that Senator Sestak had about the joint session, I know last year something that was sent to joint session from Texas Tech was about the AED, it's like the heart rate or the heart attack machines in all of our buildings. Basically, there was a piece of resolution that said in every systems building, there has to be a map to each of those. So that's an example of something that's holistically important to like all students in universities, not just Texas Tech. So hopefully that helps you. That kind of leads me to my next point. If you have those ideas that you think would be really cool and important, definitely start brainstorming them. If you need help, I know anyone on the executive team would love to help you brainstorm those and think about next steps. So that is all for my remarks. So we will move into routine motions and other business. Are there any? Senator Grigsbell?
Madam President, I move to approve the appointed individuals, Ellery Lyles and Eli Heath, to the cabinet.
Seconded by Senator Bentley. Shall we by general consent approve the cabinet appointees? Hearing no objections, the appointees are accepted as provided. Next, we will move into committee reports. However, there are no committee reports at this time, so we will move into first reading. First on our agenda is Senate Bill 59.02. Senator Grigsbell.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Bill 59.02.
You may.
Alrighty, my allergies are killing me, so just bear with me. Senate Bill 59.02 is the Reappointment Act. Be it hereby enacted by the Student Senate of Texas Tech University the following. Whereas this concerns the allocation of seats in the Student Senate of Texas Tech University for the 60th session of the Texas Tech University Student Government Association Student Senate, as required by the Senate Reappointment Act of 2014, and whereas the seats of the Senate and allocated annually in accordance with the Senate Reappointment Act of 2014, and whereas the Act provides a formula based on enrollment for determining representation in the Senate. So if you skip down a little bit, Title I states that the following titles contain the accurate allocation of seats in the Student Senate of Texas Tech University that are new to the various schools and colleges of Texas Tech University for the adequate, accurate, and proper representation of the students of Texas Tech University. Title II, Davis College of Agriculture Sciences and Natural Resources will be allocated 4 seats upon the adoption of this act. Title III, Huckabee College of Architecture will be allocated 2 seats upon the adoption of this act. Title IV, College of Arts and Sciences will be allocated 13 seats upon the adoption of this act. Title V, the Jerry S. Rawls College of Business Administration will be allocated 8 seats upon the adoption of this act. Title IX, College of Education will be allocated 3 seats. College 7 will, Edward E. Whitaker Junior College of Engineering will be allocated 8 seats. the Honors College will be allocated 2 seats, College of Human Sciences allocated 5 seats, College of Media and Communications allocated 3 seats, College of Visual and Performing Arts will be allocated 2 seats, the Law School will be allocated 2 seats, the Graduate School will be allocated 10 seats, General Studies will be allocated 2 seats, University Studies will be allocated 2 seats, and then 14 seats will be allocated to those senators representing the university at large. Be it hereby further enacted that this reappointment for seats will become effective for the 60th session of the Student Senate. Madam President, I move to place this piece on second reading and be sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Ramirez that we place Senate Bill 59.02 on second reading and to be sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Please vote in the polls. With 2/3 majority in favor, this motion passes. Senate Concurrent Resolution 59.01. Senator Lamb.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Concurrent Resolution 59.01. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hello, everyone. So basically what this concurrent resolution does, it's amending the Constitution, and it is going to an increase on the Supreme Court of the Student Government Association's GPA from a 2.5 to a 3.0. This does not affect the current Supreme Court unless they seek another term, but it will affect the next session's appointed justices. So my colleagues and I believe that it is important for us to increase the GPA to a 3.0 because we believe that a higher academic standard elevates the credibility and prestige of the court in the eyes of the student, faculty, and larger university community as a whole. And with that, I move to place this on second reading and send to all committees.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sinclair that we place Senate Concurrent Resolution 59.01 on second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Please vote in the polls. With 2/3 majority in favor, this motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.113.
Madam President,
Senator Clark.
I move to suspend the standing rule that requires all resolutions be placed on second reading and sent to all committees for the duration of the meeting.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Orr that we suspend the standing rules of the Senate, requiring us to place Senate resolutions on second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes have it. Rules are now suspended.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.113. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So Senate Resolution 59.113 is the confirmation of Grant Cannon as an Associate Justice into the Student Government Association Supreme Court. Student Body President Joel Rivero nominated Grant Cannon to the Student Government Association Supreme Court during the break, and last Monday, the Rules and Administration Committee met, interviewed the candidate, and has voted all in favor to proceed with the confirmation, and so therefore, we are putting it to y'all to confirm him. And so, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.113 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Bentley that we place Senate Resolution 59.113 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. One moment while we get the polls set up. Now, please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.114, Senator Grigsby.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.114.
You may.
Alrighty, so this is just another confirmation piece for Shelby Morlock as an Associate Justice of the Student Government Association Supreme Court. Student body Joel Rivero nominated Shelby Morlock to the Student Government Association Supreme Court on Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. In the Rules and Administration Committee this last week held Shelby Morlock's Senate hearing on Monday, January 8th. And so this piece is just to confirm her as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.114 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Van that we place Senate Resolution 59.114 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With the majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.115. Senator Lamb.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 59.115. May I first vote?
You may.
So this resolution is the impeachment of Senator Avery Douglas. Senator Avery Douglas currently has 6 total unexcused absences from the mandatory meetings required of every senator in the 59th session of the Student Senate. All senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not, and Avery has 6 unexcused absences. She's a senator at large, and with that, I move to place this on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded seconded by Senator Mitchell that we place Senate Resolution 59.115 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senator Orr.
Madam President, I rise to remove Senator Avery Douglas from the chamber.
Is there a second? It has been seconded by Senator Arritt that we remove Senator Douglas from the chamber. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. The senator is now removed. Senate Resolution 59.116. Senator Grigsby.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.116. May I first vote?
You may.
Alrighty, everyone. This piece is stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impeachment of Senator Will Hutton. Senator Will Hutton currently has 6 total unexcused absences here in the 59th session of the Student Senate, and all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not. Senator Will Hutton has failed to meet attendance requirement and has displayed a neglect of duty from the position as an at-large senator. And with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.116 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Almosa that we place Senate Resolution 59.116 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senator Orr.
Madam President, I rise to remove Senator Will Hutton from the chamber.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Van that we remove Senator Hutton from the chamber. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Senator is now removed. Senate Resolution 59.118. Senator Clark.
I
I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.117. May I first vote?
You may.
Hello again. 59.117 is stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impeachment of Senator Jeb Kenton. Senator Jeb Kenton currently has 6 total unexcused absences from mandatory meetings required of every senator in the 59th session of the Student Senate. Section 11 of the rules of the Senate states that all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not, and therefore Senator Jeb Kenton has failed to meet attendance requirements and displayed a neglect of duty from their position as a senator of the College of General Studies. Therefore, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.117 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Campbell that we place Senate Resolution 59.117 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. Majority in favor, motion passes. Senator Orr.
Madam President, I rise to remove Senator Jeb Kenton from the chamber.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Wilkinson that we remove Senator Kenton from the chamber. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Senator is now removed. Senate Resolution 59.118. Senator Javid.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.118.
You may.
Hey y'all, Senate Resolution 59.118 states the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impeachment of Senator Cole Lyons. Senator Cole Lyons currently has 5 total unexcused absences from mandatory meetings required of every senator in the 59th session of the Student Senate, and according to Section 11 of the rules of the Senate, all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not. So Senator Cole Lyons has failed to meet attendance requirements and has displayed a neglect of duty for their position as senator at large. So with that, Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.118 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Thurmond that we place Senate Resolution 59.118 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.119.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.119.
You may.
Good evening, everyone. This piece states the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impeachment of Senator Gavin Montgomery. Senator Gavin Montgomery currently has 8 total unexcused absences from mandatory meetings required of every senator in the 59th session of the Student Senate. And according to the rules, all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they excused or not. Senator Gavin Montgomery has failed to meet those attendance requirements and has displayed a neglect of duty from their position as a senator for the Rawls College of Business. Madam President, I move to put this piece on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Zimmerman that we place Senate Resolution 59.119 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. Majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.120. Senator Orr.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 59.120. May I please the podium?
You may.
So this piece is regarding the impeachment of Senator Grant Peck. He has 6 total unexcused absences from mandatory meetings required by the senator. According to Rule 8, Section 11 in the rules of the Senate, all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not. Senator Grant Peck has displayed a neglect of duty from their position as a senator at large.
Is there a motion on the floor?
Oh, I motion to, I motion to place Senate Resolution 59.120 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Geiswhite that we place Senate Resolution 59.120 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. The majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.121.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.121 for you.
You may.
All right, this piece is just stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the impeachment of Senator Cole Rumsey. Senator Cole Rumsey currently has 5 total unexcused absences from the 59th session of the Student Senate, and the RNA committee is required to offer a resolution of impeachment for any member that has failed to meet those attendance requirements. According to Rule 8, Section 11 in the Rules of the Senate, all senators shall be automatically impeached after 4 unexcused absences, be they consecutive or not. Senator Cole Rumsey has failed to meet attendance requirements and has displayed a neglect of duty from their position as a senator at large. Therefore, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.121 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Finns that we place Senate Resolution 59.121 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senator Orr.
Madam President, I rise to remove Senator Cole Lyons, Grant Montgomery, Grant Peck, and Cole Rumsey from the chamber.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Moreno that we remove these impeached senators from the chamber. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Senators are now removed. Moving on to the consent calendar. Senate Resolution 59.122.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.122. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Cool. Well, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. This is just a congratulatory piece congratulating the recipients of the Chancellor's Award of Excellence, which is an award given out by the Texas Tech Chancellor just to recognize people who've done exemplary service and had 5 years of work in the Texas Tech system. These 3 people are Dr. Lisa Green, Ms. Josie Solis, and then Ms. Charmanix Mijiha. I hope I don't butcher that, but it was in writing. And with that, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.122 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Holmes that we place Senate Resolution 59.122 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. The next item of business is announcements. Any member of SGA may make relevant announcements to the chamber. If you wish to make announcements at this time, please rise for recognition. Senator Adamek.
I promise I'll be brief. If any of y'all are like rising seniors, I have an officer in Woodford. It is like the top 0.05% of Texas Tech seniors. It's an amazing opportunity. If you have any questions about it, Trevor and I and Ben and Kiana, I think that's everybody here. And I know Joelle and Kendall were in it as well. But if y'all have any questions, this is an amazing opportunity. It looks amazing on a resume. Applications close in a week. It's a super easy application. It's on their Instagram, if that tells you how easy the application is. But yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to one of the 4 of us. So.
Do it.
Thank you, Senator Adamek. Is there any other announcements at this time? I have one last quick thing to say. As many of you know, our budget and funding process is approaching very quickly. So if you have any questions for that, or your personal organization is going through that funding interview process, please direct all those questions to Carter Arrett at this time. But I just wanted to let y'all know, in case y'all start getting questions about BNF from students, direct them to Carter or myself for any questions about that. With that being said, is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Susta. It has been moved and seconded by Senator Mitchell that we adjourn this meeting. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Nay. Ayes have it. Second meeting, or the ninth meeting, the 59th session is now adjourned. Oh.